I want to sing again, Al Zeh Dava Libeinu. I want to approach. It's a national day of mourning, but it is also an Ar Chabura Yoni Weselberg's yahrzeit. And I'm remembering one time being in the NERC, in that park in Waterbury, and I was there with Danny Weselberg and Yoni. And it's the only time. Danny was a very closed person. They're both buried right next to each other. Those two holy brothers are buried right next to each other. And it's the only time that I ever heard Danny be open. And he was crying on his brother's shoulders, on Yoni's shoulders in the NERC, outside in the park after a tournament that ended. He stayed around. And it was the three of us, and he was crying on Yoni's shoulders, describing the tremendous pains, all the difficulty, the tremendous Yisurim that he had been through. And he was hoping and wishing and assuming for good times, for better. And his brother was comforting him of the good times to come. That's the thought and the picture to me of the Yidden Galus. Al Zeh Dava Libeinu. On these thoughts, on this picture of the Yid who's craving Hashem, on the Yid who's coping and surviving and managing, Al Zeh Dava Libeinu. For pictures like that, for the Galus Yid, Al Zeh Dava Libeinu. For this our hearts worry. Alei lechashchu einenu. On people like this, on situations, chashchu einenu, it darkens our eyes. Other called Rama, not the one we sang.
Tisha, Tisha.
We all remember, it's a very near memory, and we all have it vividly on our minds, each one his own version of it. We remember a couple of years ago, Purim time, right after Purim, when COVID came to the world, when the Rabbi Shalom sent COVID to the world. And to our chagrin, our yeshivas was shut down. The place that we enjoy and appreciate so much, a place where we're yearning so much chiyus, so much energy, so much passion, so much love, and it was shut down. We're all homebound. And then the world discovered this phenomenon. Most of us, at least many of us, had never heard of it at the time. When we rewind and we review the events, most of us had never heard the word Zoom. Zoom meant to drive fast. We had never heard the word Zoom in our life, this technology that each of us from our own homes we can bond, we can connect. And b'chesed Hashem we found Zoom, and we bonded, we connected in a very, very deep and incredible way. It was electric. we learned together, sang together, had talent shows together. We bonded in a magical, magical way. And it was wonderful. It was important. It accessed a Torah of the yeshiva. It accessed the beauty of a Ben Torah, of a fighting Ben Torah, a sincere person to the wider masses. There are hundreds and hundreds, probably more thousands. It's a holy day. We have to be careful with our words. But it's probably not an exaggeration to say thousands of people that are closer to Hashem for our Zoom experience, for the fact that the Guri brothers sang together, that Matt sang and spoke, that Bachram shared, that Bachram laughed and smiled and sat on each other's screen for 2 hours or more a day. And there are thousands of people that are closer to Hashem for it. And while it went on, it was magic. It was dazzling. It was an experience the likes of which we never had in our lives. It was just incredible to bond despite odds, despite distance, despite difficulty, in the midst of a world that seemed to turn upside down. Life was good. Life was powerful. We all heard whispers of people describing like boring classes and tricks, not to be on your Zoom screens and all different ways, like to get off, and the misery of school on Zoom. And we all chuckled. To us, Zoom was magic. It was delightful. It was energizing. It was powerful. Did you ever try to do Zoom right now? Did you ever say, we're all sitting in person, I have a brilliant idea. What if we gathered here? Rav Aryeh our parents spend a fortune. Rav Aryeh's, this summer we could have Zoomed together for 3 weeks. It's misery to think about. It's miserable. It's miserable. I had like an Einfall. Now we have Zoom. It's doch gewaltig. I want to bond with the parents more. I remember I had a Zoom the year after with the parents. I was excited. I never in my life spoke worse in my life. I was staring at a dead screen. I don't know what I said. They recently fired a news lady. She came on drunk. I have no idea what I said to the parents. I might have quoted the New Testament. I don't know. I don't know what I did with them. I have no. It's lucky I don't know the New Testament. I don't know what I said to them. It was miserable. It was miserable. Because we're capable of being together, because we're capable of more. So it was miserable. Galus has a beauty. Galus has a beauty. We see beauty. And our smiles all year round as a beauty because it's what we have. Because it's what we have. And Zoom is delightful and magical because it's special. Because we bond in meaningful ways. But I have to say that when people came on Zoom, they sensed this couldn't be created here. It couldn't be that this is all there is. There's more. There's more. And the reason it was so magical is because there once was more and there once will be more. You can't stay on Zoom. It's magical while you have it. But it's magical, and people who joined sensed. They liked it, but they sensed where there was a smile on a screen, there was once a hug. Where there was a song that came through, come, come, we're able to still hear the beautiful singers. We were able to hear Yosef Kasper's beautiful music. But people sensed, there's something more, and it's wonderful. It's a wonderful experience. We even understand the need for that experience changed families. We were able to bring things from yeshiva home. We got a Golus. We've impacted the world. We get it. And there's even a beauty amidst this clarity, amidst dysfunction, amidst all different difficulty, amidst the Yid suffering and struggling and breakdown of the family, the community, everything that's normal. We know there's a beauty, and the Yid sings, and it comes out, and it goes, and we enjoy it. It's so nice. We can even be excited and look forward and be energized and passionate by it. But we're not so foolish to say this is it. We yearned and we craved to be back together, to hug, to embrace, to enjoy. We yearned for something more. We sensed there was something more, and we enjoyed it and appreciated it, and it was absolutely wonderful. But we yearned for something more. I remember the yeshiva shut down. We're chazering some guluses. We had a personal gulus in Durham. We were shut down. It's hard to say. The government, fear about the government for 2 months. For 2 months, we didn't have yeshiva. Again, if the theme is Aryeh bailing us out, welcome to it. Again, Aryeh, other people arranged. Zisha Lipschitz Shlita was a big part of arranging. And Rav Louis Shiner, tremendous generosity. And they hosted us in the tents in Louis Shiner's shul, amazing. They hosted a yeshiva. It was the most bizarre existence you can imagine. Our families, the Rebbeim who went, we didn't have all the Rebbeim. It didn't work for all the Rebbeim to leave their mishpachas. And something we're so reluctant. We'd come together with our families. We moved in, it was bizarre. We lived in the tents all day. Now the yeshiva has incredible things for a bacher to succeed. The dorm is right near. He can go to the Beis Medrash for 5 minutes. He can go to his Rebbe Shir for 10, for 9 minutes, for 6 minutes, and experience bliss. Then go back to the dorm and feel the love from a dorm counselor. It's built perfectly for a guy. He has his Rebbeim there, dorm counselors, chiyus. In Muncie, it was crazy. If you went there, so you couldn't go back home. If you went back home, you couldn't get back. So you had guys sitting in the back. You went to Shir, you were stuck in Shir for the day. It was very, very complicated. Very, very, it was beautiful and complicated. And we remember it fondly. We did nice trips. And we did everything we could in those tents. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. I remember the songs we sang in the tents. I literally sometimes can close my eyes and hear the rustling of the tent. I could see Chaim singing. I could see Rav Ezi heroically was learning there. Sruli was learning there. Yom V'Layla, Sruli Kader. Heroically sat there all day learning. We made something beautiful. People came, and again, I understand, for that one Hasidish boy who his father wheeled him in on a wheelchair and he never would have gone to Durham, maybe the whole thing was that Hasidish boy who was in his wheelchair and loved hearing us sing, and his father loved hearing the shiurim. Maybe that's why we were there, I don't know. It was wild. The middle of shiurim, davenings, they were davening Shachris, Mincha, the middle of the afternoon shir, Mincha, Shachris broke out. It wasn't our place. We were guests. We did as best as we can. All different things going on. It was filled. Rabbi Brownstein, we were trying to maintain, we were trying to keep. Rabbi Brownstein was upset. He was working his kishkas, Mesiras Nevish Mamish. Mesiras Nevish's family was there. We wanted to keep it neat. Somebody was smoking some. It wasn't cigarettes in the Beis HaKisei. Rabbi Brownstein's knocking on the door. Come out! It's Arach Rayas that it shouldn't smell. He's banging on the door. The bacher wasn't listening. There was a 60-year-old Chassidish man came out. It was complicated. We were trying our best. We were trying. It was don't laugh on Tisha. It was complicated to laugh. It was complicated. It was wonderful. It was wonderful. It's what we had. It's what we had. It's what we had. That's what we had, and it was wonderful. But there was a chilka for the real deal. There was a chilka for more. It was a wonderful situation that was magical, afilu, and an important memory of our life. But we had a chilka that I'll never forget the day we came back. The Sifrei Torah, the day we came back, the glory of the place where we had it more, everything but more. the glory of coming back home. Rav Aryeh today enacted, Chaim, Yehuda, Gedalia enacted a 10th grade visual of the yeshiva. It's a wonderful visual. It's a wonderful visual. I told the guys that a bacher once said that you seem to speak honestly, Kalish. I haven't heard you be a big liar. And yet there's one thing you say that's a ligand. You're a liar on one thing. You speak about the magnificent Shabbos. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm in the yeshiva 2 years. I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about, Shabbos? You're a liar. You talk about how great Shabbos in yeshiva. I don't know what you're talking about. Now, mind you, in yeshiva, let's describe what goes on and what he sees. What goes on Friday night, the olam shmoozing before Kabbalah Shabbos is, you can't, it's worth more than all the money in the world. Friendship, camaraderie, the visitors, the bachrim who've plugged in, the people who've come, the love in that room. Before, he's not there then, he's in his dorm room. Then a davening, a beautiful davening, dancing, singing, beautiful, he's in his dorm room. I tried before Kabbalah Shabbos, I tried to say before Ma'ariv, between Kabbalah Shabbos, to share divrei Torah that are valuable, things I've heard from Ma'arivim that I want to share with the Chevra. And we study Torah together, and then we daven Ma'ariv. Then we come to the Suda. The first part of the Suda is just love. He's there for that. He's eating garnish with garnish, just love. There's love, schmoozing, rash. It's loud, it's tumultuous, it's delightful. Then this bacher goes back to his dorm to do who knows what. And the chevra comes close and we sing beautiful smiras. We share divrei Torah, it's electric. Then the sushi, Einik Shabbos, the bacher's back. Sushi and love, wonderful. Then he leaves, and then again divrei Torah, smiras. Shabbos morning, a beautiful davening. A kiddush, beautiful divrei Torah. Beautiful Iyun Seder after the Kiddush, before the Suda. That he doesn't know about it. He never tasted it, doesn't know it exists. It's not where he's holding by tasting that. He has a bad feeling to Torah, to Tefillah. He's not ready to taste that, to light. So he comes for the Shabbos Suda and he eats Geschmack. Then he leaves. Then after he leaves, Smiras, Divrei Torah, a shalashudis that's magical, electric. Rai Shapiro's divrei Torah. He doesn't know Rai Shapiro or his divrei Torah. He's not dazzled by brilliant, life-changing words weekly that we look at each other. Chaim and I look at each other. We're like, Moshe and I look at each other. Are you kidding me? Life-changing. But I want to say something. That I've seen that bacher, and today that bacher has the whole Shabbos. But even before he has it, when he eats his kugel, he's eating the kugel from a Shabbos that has all that. He doesn't know about it, but he knows there was something different about the potato kugel. He comes for a bowl of soup Friday night. He has no idea of the zmiras, the divrei Torah, nothing, no shaykhs. But it's a different bowl of soup. He's eating bowl of soup in a room where that happened, where those things happened, and the bowl of soup's different. He'll yet yearn and he'll yet ask, what makes this? What's behind this? Where's the Torah that creates this? He'll yet look for it. There's more to this. Something made this. Something created it. And brilliantly today they depicted the 10th grader just experiencing the very onset of somebody who was there and is warm and he feels something. And the intelligent person asks, where does this come from? Allow me to share a third visual. I apologize if I'm rambling. Allow me to share another visual. The Western world has lost its way what marriage is, what relationship is. I've said this story, I don't want to say it in detail, it's too geschmack. But my cousins, my Heilige cousins, they're amazing people. and he is blind, and she has polio. She doesn't have very good use of her body. And they went to a circus together with their two children that doctors said they couldn't possibly have. She had emunah, she had faith. She said, my name's Chava. Aim kol chay, I'll have children. And they had two children. And they had a special box at the circus. They had a special box that was given to them. We live in a country of kindness. They gave them a special box. And one box over was this fancy, glamorous couple. He was of one nationality, she was of a different nationality, and they were functioning with tremendous closeness. They had all the appearances, they were very physical together, pardon me. And to them it looked like what a lovey-dovey couple, what a special couple. That's the Western world signified, the great closeness that appeared. Only 9 months later he murdered her in cold blood, and her kid for that matter. 9 months later, this man who was acting very lovey-dovey murdered the lady. And the Western world, the externals, but it's minus the kesher, the deep relationship. In the world of Torah, in the world of Ruchnius, any thinking person knows the couple who are profoundly close, who have a deep kesher, they're at a simcha, which is very separate. You separate men and ladies, very separate. But to die for the view, the husband and wife, their eyes catch each other and there's a barely perceptible nod. Any intelligent person knows the intense ava, the great love, the amazing relationship. The Western world's craving is dying for what that couple has. They look at each other and they nod. A slight, it's very, very slight. They just lock eyes. That look, that precious look that contains, that comes from so much kesher, care, concern, respect, experiences. To anybody, the nod is precious. We want the whole relationship. We study in the Torah Yosef's flowers. That Yosef HaTzadik, when he was kidnapped, there was sweet-smelling spices. That's the story of Galus. That God all the time winks at us. We have that with Hashem. We have it and it's priceless, it's precious. But we want that which causes that to be precious, which is there and gettable. We want the whole relationship. We have it. We have moments, so many. We love your Torah, Hashem. And so many times when we learn, we feel so much. We love your Shabbos, and so many times we feel so much. We want the whole thing. We want the full experience for us, for all our families, for all of Klal Yisrael, for all times. And we even get the beauty why we're on Zoom Sunday. We get it. We get it. It access to people who don't always have it. It showed off something. It was important. But we want that which causes Zoom to be beautiful. We want that which causes the eye, the look, but the closeness and the kirva that makes that so precious. We love the soup with all the love surrounding the soup, but we want that which causes that to be precious. We want the whole thing. And we sit Tisha B'Av on the floor, not denying that which we said yesterday is precious is. That which we celebrated, Zoom is wonderful. It's wonderful, it's magical, it's unbelievable, it's remarkable, it's delightful. We're thankful. The same yesterday we were thankful, Hashem. We're still thankful. But we still know there's more, and it's beautiful because there's more. The backdrop of Galus, as was discussed this Shabbos, is the Kruvim we're hugging. The backdrop, and anything is in that context, all the experiences of the suffering Yid, of the difficult wandering, the Yiddish mishpacha that's under so much duress. We're not a fixed people. A minute ago, our nation was slaughtered. A minute ago. In history, it was Bubkis. We all lived. Grew up with my grandmother who lost her whole family, was murdered 4 minutes ago. We're a wandering nation who's been pushed around. Of course, people say their families aren't healthy. It's Hitler. It's Kalish. Of course. Of course. How would your father be normal? You didn't have a grandfather. How would your mother be normal? Of course, there's emotional, social struggles. Of course, there are deep, profound challenges. There's no nation in the history of the world that endured what we endured. None. And there's nobody who would look anything like our people. There's none. You won't find it and can't find it because it doesn't exist. We're remarkable people. We're remarkable people with challenges and difficulties, and we know how beautiful it is. And we know Hashem sees the beauty and we see the beauty. We know it's beautiful. But we're still going to cry once a year. And we know it's up to Hashem how long He wants this beauty. We're going to be on Zoom as long as He wants us, and we're going to make it awesome. They'll figure out the gurus. They'll make it sound as good as possible. They'll figure, and if it doesn't sound good, we'll sing that way. We're going to sing and make it good. We will, I promise we will. But nonetheless, we're on the floor because we're aware that there's more shaykh. Because we know there's more shaykh. We're not going to live in denial. And we know it's beautiful. We don't know all the cheshbainis. We don't know. It's so hard. Like, Tzipisa, Yeshua, this is also good. We know even how good it does good things. It's confusing for us. But we're just human. We're just human. And we know there's shaykh more. We taste it from time to time. And we're just aware in tasting it and experiencing it in our own lives that we're allowed to want more of it. And Kol Zman, this is what we have. We're going to do the maximum and grab the maximum. But it just has to be that if we're in a matzav that we sense, it can't be on Zoom that you're wrong to say, can we just get together again? It can't be. You're silly to just shrug. You stop being human. Cheshbainas, but I don't get it. Maybe this is better. I don't live life that way. If we need somebody, Raizon's wife's sick, I don't say. But maybe Hashem knows better. I'm crying because I'm allowed, because I'm human. And and that's Hashem wants me. You made me human. You want me to be human. I'm going to scream because that's what you want me to do. And we're aware, is there a beauty to Gullus, is there a beauty to Zoom? No question. But I experience more. I know there's more. I know there's something more. And there's one day a year, there's times during the year, there's one day a year I'm going to focus heavily till Chatzos tomorrow on that which is not, on that which is so chaser, is so ugly and not pretty. It's not geschmack to always be on Zoom. Let's be honest for a few minutes. We want in person, we want the whole deal. We want a Beis Hamikdash that there you feel, there you experience. We want Klal Yisrael whole. We want our people whole, together and whole and built and constructed. And we want it whole. We know what it looks like. We've tasted it in small sample sizes. We've had it in our life. We have 3 weeks of such a thing, so we know what it is. So I'm allowed to want it. We want to bottle up. Sulam shouldn't be an aberration. Shouldn't be a chap, that like a trick. You have a period where people are respecting and loving and there's a bubble of beauty. That's not supposed to be an aberration. We know that it exists and we know it can be, and we have a yearning for it. For us, for our whole families, for those that came and those that couldn't come. For those that wouldn't come, for those that wouldn't understand, we want it for them too. And today is a day that we're thinking about that which we're lacking. We'll go back and we'll have other times of celebrating what we have. But today we're stelling to as human beings, as normal human beings. For the lack, for the tsar, for the difficulty, for the yid who's craving. I remember those years. I remember specifically, I'm thinking about Yoni and Dani. I'm thinking about those two precious souls. And how badly I wanted to access for them. To access for them a clarity that we don't have mikdash, so we can't access for ourselves and our brothers always. We have like chidushim. We have a chiddush hazah that people shouldn't be rejected and neglected. A chiddush. That's golus, that's a chiddush. That's golus. That's nonsense. That's obscene and absurd. That's golus. We don't want golus. We don't want that it's a chiddush. We've tasted a world. We've tasted a time when a person can be invited and accepted and wanted. Sammy spoke gorgeous today. Sammy described the chiddush stuff. Boinei Yerushalayim Hashem, the construction of Yerushalayim is Nidchei Yisrael Yechanes. Here a Yid is wanted. Here a Yid is needed. Here a Yid is irreplaceable. That's Yerushalayim. Here a Yid counts. Here a Yid celebrated. That's Geula. We're not willing to say it's like we experience a Chiddush. There's a world of Yerushalayim that Nidchei Yisrael Yechanes, that every Yid is wanted, is celebrated, is necessary, is avodas of deep importance. Every carbon counts. Our mikdash was a place where sinners were flocking. There wasn't a separate place for people who sinned. They didn't have for the tzaddikim come here and the bad guys. There should be like a Waterbury. You have the Beis HaMikdash. There's a Waterbury. Some guys, if you have problems, go there. The Beis HaMikdash was all human. We're all human beings. All of us flawed. You didn't have people who pretend to be whole and people broken. There was one Beis HaMikdash that there a Yid was wanted. There a Yid came and was embraced and hugged. Bring your carbon, correct, fix, develop, move forward. There's a place called Mikdash. It's not an aberration. That's a matzav of Gula. Every person is welcome and wanted and senses it and feels it. That's a matzav of Mikdash. For that chisaron, for that lacking, a world void, we're sitting, there's darkness here because there's darkness in the world. And we're sitting b'machashakim in a little darkness today. We're sitting on the floor because there's something that we crave. Because there's something that we know there's chisaron, there's something lacking. And today we're shtelling tzu, we're focused on it, we're being misavel and yearning as a human beings a letter. We're not asked to ignore reality. We're asked to go crazy on Zoom, but also we're allowed to say, you're a human being, I don't like fakers. Any guy who's on Zoom, isn't this amazing? Yeah, it's amazing, but you also, I hope you're groaning once, that to say we had something different. So today, collectively, we groan, we experience something beautiful. And we groan and we crave and we feel a loss, a void in our own lives, in our families' lives, in our community's life. And together today, we're tzipisa liyeshua, ki lishuasta kivinu kol hayom. We're applying ourselves and feeling with that which we always yearn for. can Zechara Deinoi Meha Yolanu Oi Habito Reyes Cherpasenu Oi Meha Yolanu.